Oh, absolutely. Ongoing and as often as possible. Retouch and come back to yourself. Figure out why you're doing what you're doing. If you're not, if you don't value it, if you don't mean anything to you, why do it? No matter what the meaning is to other things. So, and I'm not. I loved COVID. I loved being everything shut down early because it made me realize things about myself again that were like really, wow, this is. I can matter without having to worry about myself anymore. So, but like I said, I just came to a point where I realized I'd given up on myself, and this is. So I can do for myself as well as do for others. It's an okay thing. It's not ego. When I was in ninth grade, I got a scholarship to go play football at a private Catholic school in Rhode Island, and it was a great school. It would have been a wonderful education, but I did not want to play football, and wound up doing things to make me stop playing football. But basically, I didn't go to the school. I wanted to write. I wanted to write since I was in ninth grade, and it's a little too weak for my father's sake, and had to hide it from them for a long time, and had to hide a lot of things about myself for a very long time. And I was like 23 when I first started showing my writing to other people. But I wrote 4 novels before I turned 23, and I tried to get the 4th one published, and it was terrible. I had no reason in the world to be shown to other people, but I did. And it was like, hey, wait a minute. This has been the last 9 years of my life, so that does mean something. I don't want to sound like I don't want to play martyr or anything, but I Am Third is a name of a book by a football player from the 60s. And I've sort of lived my life that way for a very long time. I'm not going to give you the quote because I don't want to be a different person, but the self matters in that you keep yourself alive, you keep yourself healthy, you do good things for other people, but this isn't it. It's what we can do together. It's what people can do as a group and as a community that matters to me most. And just have fun and still learn at the same time. Have fun and still be active at the same time. It doesn't have to be competing. I don't want to compete with other people, and I don't want to denigrate other people. But what I matter, but I don't matter kind of thing. I don't want anyone to learn from me that I put myself ahead of other people. I have a very addictive personality, so it helps that I recognize certain things. I never much cared for drugs, and again, I don't really drink. It was around me, but I never did. And then I stopped drinking entirely when it was directly in my life. But I hate cliches, but don't do anything. Do everything to moderation, I guess is what I'm saying. Is when you recognize yourself getting too connected to something, getting too dependent on something, don't overindulge. Don't, to go back to the change stuff, it's like when the rhythm gets too redundant, when the rhythm gets too deadening, pull back. And I can say that about any kind of addiction, no matter, not just drugs or alcohol, because it does overtake things. I think, to go to the example I used a long time ago when I met Ken Kesey, I loved his writing before I met him, but the reputation he had of, what would they call the merry pranksters from the 60s and driving around the electric Kool-Aid acid test. It's like the bad parts of the 60s and 70s were just honoring people for being free and let go and liberal and everything. And a lot of people got hurt from that, and that kind of persona. When you start hurting other people, your addiction is too much. I really think just being able to keep aware enough of yourself that you're not imposing yourself on other people, and that goes especially for addictions. So no matter all the great influence you can have on other ways, that is not a good way. So.
I'm Emma Mowry.
I'm Luis Santos.
I'm Isabella Sanchez.
I'm Logan Glasson.
I'm Cheyenne Schreiner.